Hello and welcome to another exciting and rocking episode of your very own show, Takes and Talks, presented to you by Cinema for a Cause. Yes, you heard it right. It's going to be extremely rocking today because in this show, we are having a mesmerizing voice to enthrall us throughout. Well, being born in a musical family, probably it was right for her to be named after a morning raga of Indian classical music. And just like her name, she is fresh and exuberant, wondrous and brimming with energy. So, friends, let's welcome our today's guest, artist vocalist Ahir from Qatar. Hello, Ahir. Welcome to our show, Takes and Talks.
Hi, Sharmishta. How are you
How are
doing?
you? Yeah, I'm doing good.
Very
How
well.
are
Thank
you?
you for having me here. I'm very well. Thank you.
Okay. How is the weather in Qatar?
It's getting chilly slowly, but
Okay.
yeah, kind of getting chilly. Yeah.
Okay. Do take care. Next, I need to welcome none other than Mr. Abhishek Ganguly, the very backbone of our Cinema for a Cause, who is the ideator and moderator of Takes and Talks. So, Mr. Ganguly, welcome to the show. So, dear viewers, you too can participate in this very show because remember, this is your show. So, you can participate here by sending your reactions, your comments, your suggestions. You can also send your questions or queries to Ahir, which will be duly answered by her towards the end of the show. Now, over to you, Mr. Ganguly.
Ahir, welcome to Takes and Talks. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for making your
Abhishekta.
valuable time for us here in this platform. Uh,
Thank you.
you have been having a long journey. You've been in the corporate sector as a trainer, as a groomer. Then, obviously, with that, you have been performing all over the world. And now, virtually, you're connected everywhere. So, how did this journey happen? How did the inspiration come? How did the singer, performer, vocalist Ahir, spring up?
Okay, so first of all, once again, thank you very much for having me here. I'm extremely pleased and delighted to be here and talking with you once again. Answering to your question, I started singing at a very early age. Coming from a musical family, my mother had ingrained that into me, in fact, instilled that into me. And I started with classical training and then moved on to singing more modern forms of music in India. That is, you can call it Indian pop, which is Bollywood today, like Bollywood, very, very famously known as Bollywood. And that's when the entire thing started because my interests were mainly into modern forms of music. I did have my talim in classical music from my mother, and but I moved on to sing modern Hindi songs, and that is how it started actually.
Great start. And before we go to the next question, Shormishta, can we have some wow moments from Ahir's repertoire of different performances? Over to the video.
Hello everyone, this is Ahir. Music has been my life. It has always been with me in my sadness, happiness. It's my best friend.
मतलबी हो जा जरा मतलबी दुनिया की सुनता है क्यों खुद की भी सुन ले कभी It's my life it's now or never I ain't gonna live forever I just wanna live while I'm alive रानी ननद मला लिया मैं मुझको निभाही डाली है रानी ननद मला लिया हदरू है ना फी कुफी है لازم الجهي برابط
Yes, welcome
You've got
back.
me quite, yeah, you've got me quite in the groove. The last song was quite, like you have to move like this.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Uh,
absolutely.
I tell me, like, you must have been inspired by many singers, many, vocalists. maybe from Bollywood, even internationally. So, can you name some of those
Um, for in India, I think my all-time favorite singer, vocalist, artist is Asha Bhosle ji. She will always be my favorite, and she's you can say my inspiration. Um, I think her versatility is something um, that is so tempting, and that is so you just want to know how she does it. Every time you listen to her song, every time you listen to her, the widespread of knowledge and the kind of stuff that she does in her songs is tremendous. So for me, since childhood, I've been too obsessed with her. You can call it. So she's my all-time favorite. And when it comes to the pop music, uh, from pop from the pop genre, it's always Celine Dion. She's been my angel. She sounds like an angel. She looks like an angel, and when I hear her voice, I'm in heaven. I just have this soothing feeling when I listen to her every single time. Whatever she sings, whether she is singing in any language or it's a fast number or a slow number, it's just her voice that just just brings me up. Just gives me that kick. So yeah, these are the two people that I totally love. I do have a lot of other artists that I'm very fond of. Um, I think the ones that we have right now is Adele. She's one of them. Arijit Singh is a great artist. I think he's not only an artist, he's an all-rounder. He's a musician, he's a recordist, he's an engineer, he's an artist, he's a singer. So he's an all-rounder. So there's so much to learn from him. Um, I've mentioned Adele. I do like. There are certain singers that I adore from the 80s and the 90s, like Michael Jackson. I'm also very fond of rock music, so I like Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses. So yeah, so it's a mix, but my all-time favorites are Celine Dion.
Okay, great, great. Asha Bhosle and Celine Dion, like I also like them so much, like, and you have groomed yourself so well. You sound good, you look good. While you're performing, you have that kind of a positive vibration. It's amazing. Tell us, like, you have had a major stint in the Bengal, the Tollywood film industry. Also, you had some landmark projects in Bombay, in Bollywood. So can you just share some of your landmark, uh, maybe milestone songs or milestone projects which you have done in both these places?
When I was in Calcutta, when I started, I was in Calcutta because I was born and brought up there. I finished my education there. So my initially when I started there, it was I wanted to sing my own songs. So I have released 3 albums in Bengal in Bengali songs, and my first album was called Akanto Tumar. It was from HMV, which is now known as Saregama. So I think the songs over there were really nice. It was a very folk-based modern Bengali song, but all the songs were somehow a genre, a touch of folk with modern mashup, you can say, mixed up. I think that is one of the projects that I will always remember because that is what gave me the exposure of being an original artist. I mean, yes, I don't have a song in Hindi or in English at the moment, but that is where it gave me the platform and the feeling of being an original artist. Having your own songs, it's a different feeling. So that is one thing that I would always want to mention. And when I got my first break in Bollywood, when I sang for Ashik Banaya Aapne with Himesh Reshamia from Aapki Kashish, so that was my first Bollywood break. So that is also very, very special to me. And it'll always be because that is when you can say I can lay my first footsteps into the music industry in Bollywood. Yeah.
So taking the cue from Himesh's, Ashik Bana Apne, what has been, is it what we hear about Bollywood, like, is it, not a smooth cakewalk always, and you really have to canvas for yourself at times, the word nepotism is coming, now it's become extremely infamous now, and it is being used every here and there. So what does Ahir say about her experience, being a young woman when you were trying in Bollywood. Do you have maybe some experiences which were not that good also? Like, what was it like?
Honestly, it's when I started, I had moved into Mumbai after my college because like I said, I always wanted to sing in films post my release of Bengali regional songs, and then the struggle was really a struggle, you can say. So honestly, because there are so many artists in our country, there are such amazing people and amazing talented people all over the country. In Mumbai, you get people coming in like in thousands every day to
True.
try.
Yeah.
So I do understand where the struggle comes from. I do understand how difficult it is for people because how many movies are we making in a day, in a year, if you actually do the math? So then back then when I started, it was very, very difficult. Why? Because we didn't have social media. So
Correct.
what we used to do is we used to just go, my job was to get up in the morning. I had a book with me where I had all the phone numbers and my job was just to get up in the morning, sit with the phone and just call people. And if I'm
Okay.
lucky, I would get an appointment or somebody would be free to meet me or to even want to meet me in the first place because I didn't have anybody to push me or a godfather or somebody to give a reference. And it's very different in India. It's very different in Bollywood because um, back then it was different because now I don't know how it is because I'm not there at the moment. But when I was there, it was not capable because we had to be there just right in front of them. We had to sit for hours. We had to always be around these people, always be around. And they've been very helpful and you get to learn. Even just being around talented people, also, you get to learn a lot. I'm not saying that it's something that shouldn't happen, but struggle is what makes you stronger, I guess. I think it's because of those struggles that today I I have um, you can say that my mind is opened up. You can say that it also built me as an individual. It's made me stronger. It's made me a person that wants to achieve something in life. I think struggles are a part of our lives, and I think should be there. So for me, it was a lot of struggle. For me and singers who were in that era with me were just because there was no social media. So we had to go there, we had to sit, we had to meet people. Sometimes I was on my way and I get a call that, you know what, I cannot meet you. So I turned at
Yeah.
that time we used to travel in rickshaws. In Mumbai, you have the rickshaw. So I had to turn my rickshaw back and go back home. So there were
Okay.
instances like that. And then the break happened, and then that is why you value your break so much. I think artists who came from that era will never forget their first movie because they struggled so hard for it. It didn't just happen to them overnight. So I think I'm blessed because if I'm coming from a musical family and it's just being given to me in a platter, I wouldn't value it that much. Then if I struggle and I get it, and eventually you reach there, you do reach there, but you have to be very patient. You have to be extremely good at what you do. You have to keep
Yeah.
on and on grading yourself, and you have to be there. You cannot give up. You just have to be there. If you want to do something, you have to be there. It's everywhere. I think it's in every industry. So yeah, that's how
Very
it
true.
is.
I love that phrase. You have to be there. That's fantastic. It's so inspiring, and it really makes you feel that your presence can make a difference somewhere for yourself
And
and for them as well.
and also one thing
Yeah.
that I would like to mention to anybody who's watching this, I don't know if we have artists here, musicians here who's watching this. Guys, there is negativity everywhere. There is
Correct.
positivity, there is negativity. There is nepotism, there is favoritism, it's everywhere. You cannot deny it. But you will have to accept that, make it a part of your life, and move forward. There will be one person who will recognize you, and one way that you will find your way. An artist always finds their way. Nobody can stop you. If you are a true artist, nobody can stop you. You will find your way. Trust me. You just have to hang on. You just have to hold on and move forward. That's all.
Great. Ahir, we really love your brave spirit and your assertiveness. And especially you moved away from Kolkata, which was your comfort zone, staying in Kolkata, obviously your own city, getting into Bombay, being there, as you said, it's not very easy. And in those times, it was not the virtual times. So obviously, physically going on the rickshaws, I can just visualize. It must have been a lot of struggle. But when you made it, fantastic, Ahir. We've had a flash list here, two lines from your favorite singer. Is that possible? Maybe two, three lines
Okay, I'll just try a song of Celine Dion. I don't know whether I'll be able to do justice to it, but I'll definitely not be able to
from.
do justice to it. But I'll just sing two lines from her song. It's called "Because You Love Me." I think it's one of the songs that's made a lot of impact on me because it's for the people who are watching today, my friends, my family. If you are here, it's for you. So yeah. Mm, For all those times you stood for me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right, for every dream you make come true, for all the love I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best it was in me. Lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith that you believe. I'm everything I need because you love me.
Fantastic, Ahir. You really touched. I was getting immersed into this, the kind of feeling which came from the song. And it's so inspirational, in a dark moment, there's someone to hold your hand, take you forward.
Yeah,
There's someone for you somewhere. So that feeling
all his
itself
songs
is
are
so,
like that. It's so
yeah,
nice.
yeah,
All
so assuring. Yeah, yeah. I must thank Mr. Rajiv Sanyal, a very famous quiz master, who's just, put this question for you or put this request for you. Rajiv was there in the previous episode of
Thank
Takes
you
and
so much.
Talks.
I just read his comment. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So moving on, we would like to know, you have had a corporate chapter in your life also, and you still are there. You are a groomer, and it has not been easy there also. It has been again moving out of your comfort zone. You had to learn a lot of things about airlines and flying and all that. So can you just share the experience of your grooming persona, how that part of AHIR really took birth and how it has taken forward?
Honestly, I had no idea I was getting into that field. Trust me. When I was young, all I wanted to do was sing. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be an artist. But this just cropped up. They say life is full of surprises. It just cropped up from somewhere. So when it did, I said, okay, let me just see how it goes. So I took a break professionally. I took a break from singing and I gave time to this. And this has actually been extremely, you can say, a blessing in disguise for me because this gave me a very, very different exposure. So if I wouldn't have got into airlines or if I wouldn't have taken this up, today I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be exposed um, to the to the industry that I am and the kind of people that I've been exposed because of this job. So because I took this job, I started interacting with a lot of people globally. I started to mingle with their cultures. I started to get to know what's going on in the other side of the world, musically as well as normally. And that really develops you as a person. You really understand where what you need to develop about yourself and what you need to and what you can enhance. So musically, it has really helped me because it it's like a light in a dark room, and it said that what you've always been listening to pop music, you've always been attracted to Western form of music. Why don't you do something about that? because I've been trained on in Indian classical music. I've never been trained on Western music. So that opened the
Okay.
door for Western music. And being a groomer, excuse me, has, you can say, has helped me come out of my comfort zone. You know, we have this tendency of always being there on our comfort zone. Okay, this is what we like. We've created a boundary and we just want to stay there. We don't want to go out of that boundary. The trick is when you go out of that boundary, that is when you evolve. So that's the grooming part has taught me that. When I started training initially, I never knew I could train. I'm an average student. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to train. I'm going to forget my content. How am I going to train a classroom filled with 30, 50 people? But then when I started talking, I just went on and on and on. It just happened. It's just that sometimes we don't realize our skills until and unless we start doing it ourselves. It's like you're just jumping into the pool without knowing how to swim. You eventually learn how to swim.
Yeah.
But it's just that hidden skill that needs to come out. When I started grooming, I started training, I met a lot of people, I developed a lot of confidence. It helped me to become a public person, a people person. It really gave me a lot of knowledge about life in general. Music was always there, but it's also important that as an artist to understand who you are, because you will be interacting with people at the end of the day. It's communication. Whether you commute through words or you commute through music, you are commuting constantly with people. So if you can make people listen to you, that means you've mastered the art. So that's how it goes. And just come out of your comfort zone. I think that's what makes it. So grooming really helped me with that. So when I took the step of changing or taking a sabbatical in music professionally and get into aviation, that is what changed me as a person. It made me more patient. It helped me learn a lot. It gave me a lot of exposure to different cultures in the world. It also opened up my eyes that music is universal. It can be different languages, but it's got the same. Music is for everybody. So yeah, so that's about it about grooming.
Yeah, very true. Music crosses all barriers. Music has no language, as they say. Very true. And grooming has made you complete. A holistic personality of Ahir, came out while grooming, while being groomed, both ways. You learn, make people learn. So it's extremely enriching. Fantastic, Ahir. Tell us now, the entire world, especially of performance, we are all stuck, we are confined. The pandemic, COVID is on. So we are not being able to perform on stage.
Yeah.
But we are on the virtual stage. The virtual platform has opened up for us. So, do you think this can be maybe the light of an opportunity, or do you think that the performers' lives are ending? So, how does Ahir define the COVID pandemic performance arena, which has become from the live stage onto the virtual stage?
I think this is something that took a while for people. It's a thing that has been the whole world is facing this right now. So it's not only about our country; it's about the whole world. So
Very true. Yeah.
I feel that this has happened, and it has happened for a good reason. Because this has happened, initially it took a while for people to adjust into the this new way of interacting with people all over the world to do what they are doing, personally meeting people. These things took a while for people to adapt. But now the entire you can see it's been a paradigm shift. So now people have realized that you actually don't have to be physically present to do a job. It can be anything. Whichever industry you are in, everything technically can be done virtually. So like right now, I just sang a song in front of you. So yeah, it was just a song, but if I start doing a live event, I'll have lights behind me and I'll be all dressed up like I do for my events, and you're right there in front of me, and I'll have like a series of 10 songs or 6 songs, and I can perform in front of you. I have my tracks, I have my musicians. So just by physically being present doesn't mean that you're doing the job. You can do it online, like I'm talking to you. So it is just, I feel, is a mental block that people have, that no, if you don't do it physically, it doesn't happen. But it does. Because I'll give you an example of what I'm doing right now. So I'm working on few new projects. So I'm working on my pop songs. So I want to release my own music and my original music. So I'm working on some pop songs as well as some Hindi modern songs. So my producers are sitting all over the world. So I have my pop music
Okay.
producer sitting in US, my songwriter is sitting in US. I have my Hindi music producer sitting in India, and I'm in Qatar. But I'm still doing my music. I'm still producing I'm still working on my songs. I don't have to travel to US or to India
Yeah.
to do my song.
Correct.
All I need to do is tell them what I want, and they will send it to me online, and I'll approve it, and then I'll record my voice in Qatar and send it across to them, and they'll mix and master it, and boom, it's done. So it's just, you need to be open to change. If you're not open to change, you'll get stuck. That's one of the keynotes that one of my fellow artists had told me, that I really need to be open to change, because change is happening every single day. So you need to be open to change. Also, training. I'm training myself in Western music right now, because that's what I want to do uh, with Indian music. But how do I train? How do I get my vocal coach who's sitting in California come to me in Qatar and train me? That's not physically possible in COVID, right? So we do it virtually. He's right there in front of me, and I'm there, and like the way I'm talking to you, we train, and it helps. It definitely helps. In fact, it's better because I have a recording. I can replay that recording. I can go through that training over and over and over again, as many times I want to. So everything nowadays technically is virtual. So I would, in fact, suggest and recommend everybody to start getting more tech savvy, to start understanding how you can do things virtually, because everything technically can be done virtually. Everything, music, job, shopping, just name it, booking your tickets, everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, I totally appreciate, and I really love that again phrase, open to change. The world is constantly changing. Our situations are changing. So if we are, kind of stuck in our well, we will never be able to be happy. All the depression, the hopelessness which is coming is just because of this, because the mind is not ready for changing. So if we are changing, then
Yes.
like sky is the limit. And you have really crossed boundaries to collaborate with so many other talented people all over the world to produce music, which is again extremely therapeutic. Now, taking that as a clue, Ahi, do you believe that music has a healing effect also? There has been a lot of research on this. In 1 minute, we are running short of time also. We had so many questions for you, but this has to go on and on. It's a never ending journey. So what will Ahi say about the therapeutic side or the healing side of music?
There is definitely a healing side of music, and I would like to mention this since you asked me very, very briefly, that I would interest all the people, all the viewers who are watching today, to go to YouTube and just research on 432 hertz frequency and 256 hertz. So the natural frequency of the universe and of our planet is 432 and 256 hertz. So when
Okay.
music was made before the World War II, all the musicians used to sing in different frequencies. So 432 and 256 are those frequencies that they like to perform in, because that's the sound of the universe. That's something which is a natural thing. But after the World War II, what happened was it became standardized. Okay, I don't know why they standardized it, but they standardized it. Today, if you're buying a musical instrument, it all of them are 440 hertz, um, which is not a normal phenomenon. It's a higher pitch. So that leads to people getting negative vibes, getting tired. So if you're listening to your favorite song, you're listening to 440 hertz. But if you Google and you say, okay, Celine Dion, because you love me, I want to listen to it at 432 hertz, you will get that part as well. It's there
Oh,
on
you
YouTube.
have those versions also.
Yes, you have those versions, and it's more internationally aware. Internationally, people are more aware of this. I don't know if it is practiced in India, but in all the English songs, all the pop songs that you hear today, Spotify, Apple Music, anything that you hear today is on 440, which is a negative, which gives you a negative energy to the body. It gives you a negative vibe because it's not a normal frequency. The normal
Okay.
frequency is the frequency of the universe, which is 432. And this was standardized after the World War II. And I don't know why they did that, but they did that. So yeah, so maybe you can give it a try. Give it a try in a week and just see if you listen to that frequency, maybe it will make you feel more positive. Because we all need to stay positive right now.
Right, you are here. I have noted it down for our viewers. 432 hertz. Just write on any of your favorite songs and get into the 432 hertz version to get healed, to really pacify all your worries, especially during the pandemic times. Ahid, we had so many questions for you. We have to do a face-to-face part two, but already questions are coming from all your fans, admirers, your viewers. So, Shorbishta, can we have the questions for Ahid, please?
Yes, we are ready with the questions.
Excuse me.
Okay. The first question is from Tanya Mukherjee.
Hi, Tanya.
And thank you for the question, Tanya. Let me show it on screen. Can you read it? How can social media work in the life of a performer?
Very, very important question. Yeah.
It is. I'm glad you asked me that question, Tanya. It's got an immense contribution to an artist. Because through social media, you can connect to almost anybody in the world. Anybody. Name them and you can connect with them. Why? Because Instagram and Facebook give you the opportunity to send direct messages. Yes, I know you'll be thinking that, oh, they don't check their messages. Trust me, they do. They check their messages. If they don't check their messages, their team checks their messages. And if your message is legit, if you have said something or asked something which is related to music or related to knowledge, they will always respond to you. And you can connect with anybody in the world. Anybody. Sitting right there at your place. Social media is actually a blessing for all of us because you can connect with anybody. So being an artist, if you want to work with somebody sitting in Paris and you know a musician, or maybe you came across you want to do a French song, or you want to club a Hindi song with an Arabic or with a French or whatever you want to do, you go to Instagram and you just search them. You get a couple of artists, go to their profiles, check their profile, whoever you like, shortlist, DM them, and they will come back to you and you can work with them, you can collaborate with them. That's how easy it is. All I said is just the open-mindedness. The social media is huge today, guys. You have to be in social media because that's what actually helped me to progress in my career as an artist. So today, wherever I am is because of social media. Trust me. I've made all my connections through social media. Everything. So yes, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Ahir. The next question is from Arundhati Chaudhary. Let's see what she has asked you. Can you read it? How do you put emotion into those compositions which are composed in foreign languages other than?
Just like when you are singing a different language, you first get to know the meaning of that song. So if I am saying je t'aime, it means I love you in French, you will say it. So if I don't know what is the meaning of shatem, or what is the meaning of a certain word in a different language, I would not be able to get that emotion. So it's very important for you to first understand the song. So suppose if I'm singing a song in Arabic, I will ask the person who's written, the songwriter who's written the song, is what is the meaning of the song? So what does this line mean? So and then I will write it in my own language.
I hear one thing is that there was some internet, disruption in the connection. So could you just repeat the answer?
Yes. So what
We
do you
started
need to
from the
do?
beginning.
Yeah, what you need to do is what I usually do is when I sing a different language, I get the meaning of the song and I write it down in my own language. So when you are singing in Arabic, you will have to write down the meaning of the song. That's I think because it's going to be easy for Indians because India has such a diverse language in our country. So when I'm singing in any language in that matter, I need to understand what is the meaning of the song. And then once I know the meaning of the song, that is line by line. I write it down. When I write it down, then it automatically makes me or enables me to give that emotion out that that is meant to be given. Also, when you are singing a different language, a foreign language, you need to understand how to sing that certain dialect. That's very important because in Arabic, sometimes they have a different way of singing, like the way we sing in India or in Hindi or in Bengali is very different. When they sing in France, they sing it in a very deep throw. They say throw in India. It's very different. When you're singing an English song, it's very different because the voice modulation is very different. So when you're saying "I love you" in English, and then you're saying "je t'aime," and then you go soft. Okay, so you need to understand that, and it's all knowledge. When you interact with global musicians, when you interact with different people from the world, automatically you learn that. It's something that you inculcate. So, but the answer to your question is, you need to know the meaning of the song. It can be in any language. Once you know the meaning, you automatically will be able to project the emotion.
Nicely explained. Very nicely explained. Yeah, that's great. So moving on to the next question. Okay. That has been sent by Madgata Datta. She asks, like, have you ever thought of giving music direction? That's good question. Something about your maybe your future plan.
I would love to, but honestly, like I said, if I have the skill, yes, I would want to be a songwriter, uh, maybe soon, but I will have to master that. Yes, I've been in the music field for a long time, but I haven't yet ventured that part because till now, most of my songs are written by someone else and you can say produced by someone else. But I would definitely look out for doing that because that is where we are getting at in the future. If you see most of the artists in the world, they are all singer-songwriters. Most of them. You can name anybody. So yes, that is one thing that I would want to master in the future, but it will take a while for me to do that because I'll have to learn the tricks of the trade. I'll have to learn how to do that properly because a songwriter is somebody who is writing the lyrics as well as giving the tune of the song. So you can say I'm on the process.
Okay.
That's something I would want to look at.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer. So moving on to the last question from the viewers. That's again from Madgata. How can one start, since you're a groomer, you've been a professional groomer, how can one start grooming right from school? And if it is at all possible, what's your opinion about that?
A very good question, actually. You don't have to go to a school to groom yourself. Let's just get this clear. When you are at your home, when you know who you are, you know yourself the best. You know what you are good at and what you are not so good at, and you can develop, right? So what you need to do is first figure that out. Figure out what's your USB. Figure out what you do best. Okay, so I speak the best. Okay, I sing the best. I cook the best. I stitch the best. So there must be something about you which is great, which is amazing. So upskill that. Try and upskill that. Try and enhance that. Now, how do you enhance that? You have your social media to do it. Most of my stuff that I have learned is on the internet. Most of them. Like just now, I spoke to you about the frequency. It's about music. I'm an artist. I sing. I don't need to know about frequency. But I did take that initiative to go out there and look for it. So that's what gave me an added knowledge to what music is all about. So first of all, for me, as a grooming, you can say a grooming person, I had to first realize what I'm good at. Once I know what I'm good at, then I start developing myself on that. And the things that I'm not good at, I start mastering that. So suppose I'm not good at songwriting, just for I don't know how to do a songwriting. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go and research on that. I'm going to go and try and connect with people who are good at it and try and get inspiration from them. That's what I'm doing. So first, chalk out what you're good at and what you're not good at. And then develop on it. How do you develop on it? Research through connecting with people. Guys, you have no idea where you can reach if you connect with people. You can get so much from them. So much. Surround yourself with people who are good at that. I'm surrounded by musicians, so it helps me a lot. So that's where you start upskilling, you start grooming yourself, you start gaining confidence, and there you are. Bam. You're good to go.
Okay,
Amazing.
that's very nicely explained, Ahir. But like, if we could put the question from a different way, like, if somebody wants to, if we really need to start grooming from the school, because we go in India, especially, we go to school, we learn, so many things, so many extracurricular activities. We are into sports, music, drama, so many things. But like, if you want to know about the grooming part, if somebody wants, if there is a curriculum, say about grooming, so how should it start from in school? And can it at all be started from school, the grooming part, in
Yes,
a
of
normal
course, why
education
not?
school?
I think they should include that in the curriculum because people are having academies. Even in Qatar, they have training academies for grooming where they're teaching body language and they're teaching how to gain confidence and how to manage time and how to the soft skills part of grooming. Yes, of course you can. I think it's a great idea. I think in India we should have these kinds of trainings. In fact, even if you're not having it in the curriculum, you should add it as an extracurricular activity for children so that you bring in trainers from outside and let them have a session on that. Let them figure out
Right.
who they are because that's when it opens your mind. That's when it just gives you that platform where you can just say, okay, you know what, this is what I can do. Instead of you
Hmm.
graduating from college and then going to an academy because you want to become
Right.
somebody,
Hmm.
you rather do that in your school and finish it once and for all, and then you get on with it. Yes, of course. I think that's a great idea. I think that they should have that.
Well, we have got another question. This is probably, I guess, the last question on that. Okay, so can you read it? What's your suggestions to those who are struggling in the field of music?
Okay. I think we all are struggling when it comes to our own industries. I think even if you talk about Michael Jackson, even he was struggling even if he was Michael Jackson. Why I'm telling you is even when you're there, you still struggle to maintain that thing. Let me tell you, it's not as easy. The struggle is always there. So let's just drop that. So we are always struggling. But what you need to do is first, you need to first figure out what you want to do. So if you are in music is a generic subject. It's huge. So what exactly do you want to do in music? Do you want to be a musician? Do you want to be a vocalist? Do you want to be an all-rounder? Do you want to be... So first you need to figure out what you want to do. Once you figure that out, then you start mastering that category. So if I want to be a songwriter, I start developing myself as a songwriter. I start again mentioning, connecting with people all over the world who are songwriters. Okay. Now the things have changed, guys. You don't need a film and you don't need a label to sponsor you. You can be your own artist. You can be your own music company. You can be your own label and you can release music on your own channel. Trust me, everybody around the world is doing that. You don't need a label to back you or a film to make you a star. You are your own star. Yeah. So what you need to do is you just need to figure out what your music is, what's your genre, and then just start releasing music on your channel. Start building your audience. It's very important to build your audience. And everybody is not going to like your music. Trust me. The whole world will not like your music. You will have your own special audience. I will have my own special audience. Okay? So all you need to do is accept the struggle, understand your genre, and start connecting with people who are in your genre. Use Instagram, use Facebook, use YouTube, use all the tools that social media has given you and start connecting with them, start reaching out and start collaborating. And you'll automatically see that you are on the next level. It's just magic. Trust me.
Okay, thank you so much, Ahir. We are done with the question answer round from the viewers' end. Now, over to you, Mr. Ganguly.
Yeah, I hear while you were kind of taking on the questions, I got some very important keywords which sums up exactly the take backs from today. One was open mindedness. We really have to be extremely open minded and we need to get out of our comfort level. We have to embrace change. We have to always, kind of be with the new and kind of, like get ready for the newness. You have to upskill yourself, never stop. You have to go on upskilling. Social media is a tremendous platform. It's a sea of opportunities. Don't get bogged down because you're confined in pandemic. Use the social media to connect, connect, and connect. And last but not the least, open up your channel and be your, set up your own brand. Like Ahir has set up her own brand. Be your own signature. That would be wonderful. Ahir, like before saying goodbye to you, which breaks my heart, like I need a return gift. This party cannot end without a return gift. So,
Yes.
I'm a big fan of R.D. Burman. So I would just
Okay.
request, and you do a lot of R.D. mashups. So maybe a
Yeah.
small combo R.D. mashup as my return gift from Kolkata, from India, like which can come from Qatar. Okay, and we'll do
For
it
sure.
virtually.
For
Yeah.
sure. I'll try my best. I will start with, I'll do a small little mashup for you, and it will be a mashup of old songs, but it'll definitely be the one starting will be the one from Artie because you like Artie.
Okay.
So
Great,
Excellent.
great. Yeah.
Excellent.
okay. मेरी आवाज़ पहचान गर याद नहीं हो ना भूल जाएगा चेहरा ये बदल जाएगा मेरी आवाज़ पहचान गर याद नहीं एक तो
Lovely.
सजन मेरे पास नहीं रे दूजी मिलन दी कोई आस नहीं रे उस पे सावनाया उस पे सावनाया आग लगाई हाय लंबी जुदाई चार दिनां दा प्यार हो रब्बा बड़ी लंबी जुदाई एहसान तेरा होगा मुझ पर दिल कहता है वो कहने दो, तुमसे मोहब्बत हो गई है मुझे, पलकों की छाँव में रहने दो, एहसान तेरा होगा मुझ पर।
It seems that you're leaving us with your ehsan.
That was
You've
a
done
wonderful return gift, right? What do you think, Mr. Ganguly?
absolutely, absolutely from Qatar without any
Yes.
Flipkart and Amazon charges.
Okay, that was a wonderful return gift, and I think like there can't be a better return gift in this situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very true.
Okay.
Music,
So,
music
Ahir,
is
thank you.
healing.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, for being a part of this show. We have really enjoyed it. And I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same with you. You have enjoyed with us too. Thank you, Mr. Ganguly, for moderating it so nicely. Thank you, viewers, for your participation.
Thank you,
And
guys. Yes, I also wanted to thank everybody. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It really means a lot
and
to
we
me and
wish
to us.
you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank
And
you.
hope to see you soon again in Takes and Talks. So, dear viewers and dear everybody, do take a very good care of yourself. We will see you soon. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Bye bye.